boom, bang, boom. So when it comes to footwork, there's 3 important types you guys need to know, and those 3, I'm going to be taking you through them with me today. So without further ado, let's get right into it. When it comes to footwork, the most important and often what I like to teach first is just the standard bounce. What the bounce is it helps build potential energy. So it's much easier to react and respond when you already have some sort of motion going on. You look at any great fighter, the all-time greats, they all had impeccable footwork, light on their feet. You know, they would be there one moment and then next moment they'd be somewhere else in the blink of an eye and easily sometimes. So the bounce is just a easy and I think standard place to start. So basically I'm gonna be in my bladed stance. I'm gonna put my feet kind of in a straight line, and I'm not gonna point my toes totally to the side, rather 45 degrees to where I'm looking. From there, keep your knees slightly bent, and then what I like to do is just visualize my opponent in front of me, and then you can start, if you cannot, get on your toes yet, you can just start kind of bouncing in place, okay? Totally flat on the ground, and then when you want to take it to the next level, you get on your toes, all right? This adds another element of buoyancy to it. So just stay here for a little bit, hands up, in whatever guard position you like. One way to drill this is that you can go either forwards or backwards in place while doing the bounce. So here I am just doing the bounce, and you can kind of slowly creep your position going forward or slowly creep your position going backwards. Now the thing is, and it's often confused, is that people think bouncing is jumping. That's totally inefficient and it's gonna waste a lot of energy. So what you're actually doing is just dropping your gravity and using the kinetic energy to bounce back up. So it's just like when you bounce a ball on the floor, it's gonna come up. It's the same principle. So I'm here, I'm just getting lower, letting my gravity sink. And usually in this place of sinking is where you can throw a technique. So for example, here, right here, right here. I'd say you rarely or never attack when you're on the up. You attack when you're compressed, like a coil in and go out. Boom, loaded potential energy right here. All right, so the next type of footwork we're gonna do is shifting. Okay, so first type is kind of in place, you're bouncing. Shifting, you're going back and forth, back and forth. And what I think the shifting is great for is reaction and counters, and being able to anticipate your opponent's rhythm and or timing. So like if I'm just in one place, your opponent can kind of time your rhythm because it's kind of, repetitive. But if you're going back and forth, say for example, my opponent's gonna come forward at me, I would time that when he comes in, I'm moving back. I'm shifting back. So if my opponent were to come in, I move back, and then I counter on the shift back forward. Here's a standard bounce, okay? Then you have shifting back and forth. This is great for timing a counter, boom, he's coming in, I shift back, I move forward on the shift forward. So when it comes to shifting, this is a little bit more advanced than the standard bounce. If you don't have that coordination down yet, what you can do is kind of rock, kind of like toe tap, toe tap, toe tap, toe tap. But that rocking, eventually, you want to turn into shifting by keeping your head on the same level, the same plane the entire time. Instead of, you see kind of a TikTok motion, not the app, but the motion. Okay, that's the tick-tock motion. Now, if you're gonna shift, I'm keeping my head on relatively the same plane. All right, so that's one way to get it down. But the tilting is important sometimes if you want to break up the rhythm and then move. It's good for breaking up rhythms and slowing down the pace. So sometimes I'll often do a little rock back and forth, change things up, either bounce here or shift. All right, so the last type of footwork is going to be lateral footwork. And oftentimes the most common way of doing this is the shuffle step. So basically you can do this from anywhere. Either I'm shifting or bouncing like so. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of drop my weight. I like to move my front leg back and then my rear leg to the side. So I'm stepping laterally. So if I see you straight on, boom, right here. And then I kind of subtly went over to one side. One more time, if I'm here. Okay, if I want to change things up, okay, instead of moving back and forth or up and down, boom, right here. You can go backwards too. Here, boom. A few tips for footwork, guys, is you want to stay light on your feet. The more sound you're making, typically the more heavy you're going to be on your feet. So the lighter you are and the more quiet you are with your feet, generally you're going to be much lighter on your feet. And with footwork, that is the goal. All right, guys, so that was 3 types of footwork that you should know, 3 basic standard types. If you guys want more of this, please let me know in the comments down below. And thank you guys for tuning in.